நீலகிரி மாவட்டம் வெலிங்டன் ராணுவ கல்லூரியில் 80வது பட்டமளிப்பு விழா நடைபெற்றது. இதில் மத்திய பாதுகாப்பு அமைச்சர் ராஜ்நாத் சிங் பங்கேற்று 26 நட்பு நாடுகளைச் சேர்ந்தவர் உட்பட 479 அதிகாரிகளுக்கு பட்டங்கள் வழங்கி சிறப்பித்தார். முன்னதாக வெலிங்டன் போர் நினைவு சதுக்கத்தில் மலர் வளையம் வைத்து அஞ்சலி செலுத்தினார். முப்படைகளின் 2வது தலைமை தளபதி லெப்டினன்ட் ஜெனரல் அனில் சௌகான் உடனிருந்தார். விழா முடிந்து டெல்லி செல்ல ஹெலிகாப்டர் மூலம் கோவை ஏர்போர்ட் புறப்பட்டு சென்றார்.
Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan, Lieutenant General Virendra Vats, Commandant Defence Services Staff College, Directing Staff and Instructors of DSSC, graduating officers from India and friendly foreign countries and their family members, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. Before starting my address, I would like to express solidarity and support of the people of India for Myanmar and Thailand in face of the massive earthquake a few days ago. India has always stood by its friends as a first responder in times of crisis, and we consider it as our duty to be able to deliver timely relief to the people of Myanmar. It is a matter of great pleasure for me to be here today to address a gathering of the vibrant and dynamic young military leaders of the armed forces of India and friendly nations who stand at a confluence of knowledge, awareness and leadership skills, ready to contribute to the security and development of our great country. I congratulate each one of you for having successfully completed the course. Friends, today, as I gaze through the hall, I see the pride of the armed forces of India and other nations. A generation of military leaders that will endure a period of accelerated change that will be accompanied by unique and disruptive challenges. And I also see the future strategic military leaders who will have the onerous task of ensuring the national security of your respective countries. Each one of you sitting here is destined to participate in the national efforts towards building a prosperous future for your people. A great responsibility awaits you. Friends, today I want to share some insights about the complex environment that you will face, the challenges that you will need to overcome, and the expectations that you will need to fulfill in your journey ahead. Friends, global geopolitics today is being redefined by 3 key metrics: a major pivot towards prioritizing national security, a technological tsunami that is sweeping the global landscape and accelerating innovation. As national security professionals, you will do well to study the menaces of these trends in depth if you have to stay ahead on a strategic military change curve. Friends, the global geopolitical situation is marked by tremendous flux, with rapidly shifting alignments, disruptions, and conflicts being the order of the day. Issues such as deglobalization, intense nationalism, resource scarcity, human migration, food security, climate concerns, and threat of global pandemics loom large. This is accompanied by the weaponization of trade and finance and anxieties that are created due to disruption of the supply chains, monopoly over disruptive technologies, and anxieties over the transparency of data flows. It is no surprise that the world is moving to an era of self-help and unilateral decisions, leading to a decline of the global institutions and order. And we are seeing this unfold before our very eyes today. Friends, technology today is a driving geopolitics and national security like never before. Artificial intelligence and the emerging basket of technology, robotics, military autonomy, drones, quantum, blockchain, space, cyber, electronics, additive manufacturing, and the like are revolutionizing defense and war fighting in critical ways. Warfare is moving rapidly beyond the traditional domains of land, sea, and air to space, cyber, the undersea, and newer domains of creative endeavor. Drones, for instance, has emerged in Ukraine-Russia conflict virtually as a new arm, if not a transformative science. The majority of the losses of the soldiers and the equipment have been attributed neither to traditional artillery nor to armor, but to drones. Space capacities in the low Earth orbit, similarly, are transforming military intelligence, persistent surveillance, positioning, targeting, and communications, thus taking combat to a new high. The power of technological innovation in combat threats is breathtaking indeed. Friends, the ongoing conflicts and the contemporary trends highlight the fact that the traditional notions of warfare are being rewritten. Emerging technologies are impacting the character of war with unmanned systems and advent of the artificial intelligence forecasting an era of autonomous warfare. Warfare today has gone beyond the traditional battlefields of land, sea, and air, and armed forces will increasingly need to operate jointly in multi-domain environment where cyber, space, and information warfare will be as potent as conventional operations. We are in the age of the gray zone and hybrid warfare, where cyber attacks, disinformation campaigns, and economic warfare have become tools that can prosecute and achieve politico-military aims without a single shot being fired. Friends, India and the world today faces a diverse range of security challenges. In our case, we face persistent threats along our northern and western borders. This is further compounded by the threat of the proxy war and terrorism emanating from the epicenter of terrorism in our neighborhood. Ongoing conflict in West Asia and geopolitical tensions in the Indo-Pacific to our east have their impact on our overall security calculus. In addition, capability to address non-traditional security threats to include natural disasters and the climate change effects are increasingly becoming important. This brings me to the question that what does this imply for all of you? In the environment that I have just described, where the world around us is evolving rapidly with new security dynamics and challenges emerging every day, the focus of every nation and each one of you has to remain ahead of the curve and be future ready. Friends, as India moves towards our Prime Minister's visionary goal of the Viksit Bharat by 2047, a fully developed, self-reliant, and globally respected India, it is imperative to recognize that this vision rests firmly on two fundamental pillars. Surakshit Bharat, or Secure India, and Sashakt Bharat, or Strong India. While Surakshit Bharat gives us the confidence to dream, Sashakt Bharat gives us the strength to achieve those dreams. Our armed forces, through unwavering vigilance and sacrifice, ensure a secure India. So how are we to achieve this vision? Friends, I feel the approach has to be guided by the Defense Service Staff College. Here, with 8 to 10 years of the average service, you have a long career span ahead of you, where you could be the future change makers. Let me explain how. The start point has to be the development and the modernization of our armed forces. Technology today is not a support element but a decisive enabler of operations. Our armed forces must therefore not only keep pace with technological changes but also lead it. The need for us is to develop low-cost, high-tech solutions and enhance the fighting capability of the armed forces. In order to remain capable and relevant for future wars, we need to vigorously pursue the transformation of our armed forces. New perspectives, doctrines, concepts of operation and structures need to be created and refined in keeping with the changing nature of threats and war fighting methodologies. Friends, as I highlighted earlier, the canvas of the threats that we face and therefore the need to respond to has to be enhanced. So while enhancing our capabilities to prosecute conventional war and respond to conventional threats, we must ensure that we cater for capability and capacity to address the challenges of non-traditional threats as well. The need to respond to natural disasters is a case in point. Friends, the second important aspect is that this focus on development and modernization is increasingly realized through Atmanirbhar or self-reliance in defense. Lessons of the ongoing conflicts teach us that building resilient, indigenous and future-ready defense technological and the manufacturing ecosystem is not an option but a strategic necessity. Thirdly, protecting the national security of our nation will require us to enhance synergy between all components of our national power. Therefore, fostering a whole-of-nation approach while undertaking actions in the entire spectrum of diplomatic, informational, military, economic, and technological domains is key to ensuring success in this endeavor. Finally, we need to remember that achieving a better future and prosperity for our peoples and the nation will always remain a collective pursuit. Increasing connectivities and dependencies among countries and the peoples implies that the multitude of the challenges are better faced in concert with each other than individually. Mutual interest and synergy will help us to achieve such concert at sub-regional, regional and even global levels. Friends, 10 years ago, our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi laid the foundation of the vision of the Sagar, which stands for security and growth for all in the region. This vision was for the stability and the prosperity of the Indian Ocean region. Today, we have taken this further and our Prime Minister has announced our vision for the Global South, which going beyond Sagar is defined as Mahasagar. That is mutual and holistic advancement of the security and growth across regions. Friends, in pursuit of our need to modernize and remain relevant for the future, Ministry of Defence has decided to observe year 2025 as the year of reforms. This would aim at transforming the armed forces into a technologically advanced, combat-ready force capable of multi-domain integrated operations. 9 broad areas have been identified, and addressing the entire range of modernization imperatives to include defense acquisition and procedural reforms. I am pleased to share that collectively we are making significant progress on the goals we have set for ourselves. Friends, this brings me to the final question of what is your role and responsibility in this entire endeavor. I wish to define this by the first alphabet A 5 times. First and foremost is aware. First and foremost is all of you will need to remain aware of the environment and its implications for you as war fighters and protectors of the national security.